Khamzat Chimaev on your back in round 1 is not easy to get off. And then he was able to sink that in. And that goes to show how strong of the squeeze this freaking dude had.
Could he pull that same style against Dricus Du Plessis? Because I will say this.
1000%.
Israel Adesanya recently dropped an interesting prediction for the highly anticipated middleweight title fight between Dricus Du Plessis and Khamzat Chimaev at UFC 319.
Have to beat Khamzat Chimaev because his wrestling is so deep.
Yeah, he's really good. When he fought Rob and he beat Rob, that was one that made me go. Well, when he fought Gilbert Burns was the one I had respect for him. I was like, okay, he's got that dog in him. He can fight, he can dig deep, and he can still swing. But then when he fought Rob and beat him the way he did, it made me take a notice, okay, you gotta be careful with this guy, watch out for this guy.
I think Khamzat with DDP would be next.
How do you see that fight? DDP, like the last kid by now at 185 pounds, it's different, man. When he beat Robert Whittaker, I'm never gonna contest it out again. He does a crazy shit.
He's just stubborn. It's even funny to watch. I give him all the respect. He's so good at what he does. I've said, what did I say before? He's the best fighter in the world. Can't wait till I fight again just because there's some things I want to try.
As the eyes of the MMA world focus on this clash of titans, Adesanya shared his thoughts on the upcoming battle, and it seems like he's leaning toward the South African challenger, Du Plessis. However, his take is a bit different than what many might expect. Adesanya believes the fight could get chaotic, with Du Plessis taking control later on after Chimaev's early explosive attacks. The middleweight champion's own experience with both fighters, especially his hard-fought bout with Du Plessis, made him realize just how tough the South African is when the fight stretches into the later rounds.
Not bad, but I still think Dricus gets it. I think just late finish, yeah, late finish. Khamzat would, yeah, I think Khamzat will, if he wins, it's the first 2 rounds, or the first round. But Dricus is just chaotic. Chaotic good, chaotic evil.
Adesanya's thoughts echoed a sentiment shared by many fighters and analysts. Chimaev's best chance is to finish Du Plessis early. After all, Chimaev's relentless aggression, wrestling power, and insane cardio have overwhelmed almost everyone he's faced, and he's been a wrecking ball since his UFC debut. But Adesanya, knowing Du Plessis' resilience and chaotic fighting style, thinks Chimaev could run out of gas if the fight goes deep into the championship rounds. His take? A late finish for Du Plessis, somewhere in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th rounds.
The King of Africa, DDP, taking on Khamzat Chimaev.
I don't know anymore, man. I used to think, you know what, DDP's got him. But Chimaev is truly on a different level. I'm leaning towards DDP. Chimaev is a round 1 guy.
If Chimaev cannot get him down,
he will.
I think DDP is going to do what he does best. He's going to be awkward.
It's going to be a my turn fight. I think DDP will start the first round with... This might sound like such a casual take. What do you think about DDP shooting on Chimaev? If you shoot at the same time, I'm going to head clash with you. Take fights on your terms. Yeah. If he gets the better of you, which he will, and if he takes you down, don't try and get back up. If you're going to end up on the ground, but you can decide. How does Chimaev work from full guard?
Why are you so intelligent?
The chaos that Adesanya speaks of is exactly what makes this fight so intriguing. Du Plessis' unpredictability could be a nightmare for Chimaev, who typically thrives when he can dictate the pace early. In the same breath, though, if Chimaev's storm doesn't break Du Plessis, the fight could very well be turned upside down. This matchup, as Adesanya aptly puts it, could be chaotic good versus chaotic evil, where Du Plessis embodies the chaos that breaks down opponents with unpredictable timing and a never-say-die attitude, and Chimaev represents the ruthless, fast-paced pressure that has overwhelmed fighters before.
That's literally what this fight might be, chaotic good versus chaotic evil. Bro, you gonna take it, crackhead.
Renier de Ridder also offered his thoughts on the upcoming bout. Having trained with both fighters, de Ridder's insight carries weight. While he still leans toward Du Plessis, he was careful not to underestimate Chimaev's power. De Ridder emphasized that while Khamzat has a good chance of finishing the fight in the early rounds, he doesn't see him being able to do so easily against a fighter as tough as Du Plessis. If Chimaev doesn't secure a finish early, de Ridder believes Du Plessis will start to build momentum and eventually take over as the fight drags on. According to de Ridder, Du Plessis' experience and ability to weather storms make him a formidable opponent for someone like Chimaev, who has yet to face a fighter with the same kind of mental toughness.
No, he's absolutely not. I know you've been asked a million times about like the Khamzat and Dricus fight, but now that we do have a date, like a location, all that kind of stuff, maybe you can talk about it in more real terms since we know when and where it's happening.
Yeah, it's August, and where is it?
Chicago.
Oh,
August 16th.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So apparently Khamzat can fight in the US.
Yeah, yeah. Now Trump is in office.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talked about it before. Do you still feel Khamzat has the advantage there?
No, I think Dricus is gonna. I think Dricus will win. Yeah.
Robert Whittaker shared his own prediction for the bout. Whittaker, who has been in the octagon with both Du Plessis and Chimaev, believes that the key to this fight will be whether Chimaev can finish Du Plessis early. He's confident that Chimaev will take Du Plessis down. There's no question about that, but the real challenge for the undefeated Chechen fighter is whether he can finish him before Du Plessis gets back to his feet. Whittaker's take is simple. If Chimaev can't finish Du Plessis early, he'll be in for a rough night.
Khamzat and Dricus fighting for the belt in just over a month's time. What are your initial thoughts on that matchup?
Honestly, I'd have to say Dricus would be a favorite. I think I'm leaning towards Dricus. The whole thing can be summed up. Chimaev will take him down. It's will he finish him before he gets back up? That's the $1 million question. Because if he doesn't finish him on the ground, yeah.
Luke Rockhold has also trained with both fighters and shared his own breakdown of the fight. According to Rockhold, Chimaev is an absolute beast with an aggressive, wrestling-heavy style that will pose serious problems for Du Plessis in the early rounds. But Rockhold, who's also worked with Du Plessis, noted that if the South African can survive the first 2 rounds, the fight could shift in his favor. He believes Du Plessis has an incredible toughness that many people underestimate. Rockhold went on to praise Du Plessis' awkward striking, solid grappling, and unpredictable timing. His ability to mix up his game and stay composed, even under extreme pressure, makes him a dangerous fighter. If Chimaev can't maintain his pace, Rockhold suggests Du Plessis will start to dominate the latter rounds.
It's not always about the most technical guy, it's the guy who wants it more. And
how do you think he fares against Khamzat?
I think Khamzat is a go for broke kind of guy. Khamzat, if he can't out wrestle you, he can't control you in that fierce state of direction of what he does. I think he'll break. Khamzat will get him if he'll get him, but if he can't get him, it's going to be a hard 3rd, 4th, and 5th round.
Right.
I think that's going to be all Dricus.
So if it goes into the championship rounds, you like the champ?
Yeah, 100%.
Who wins, Dricus Du Plessis or Khamzat Chimaev?
Brendan Schaub echoed Rockhold's thoughts, saying that Chimaev's best chance lies in the early rounds. He noted that while Chimaev has a scary combination of power, speed, and pressure, he's not necessarily built for a 5-round war. Schaub believes that if Du Plessis can survive the onslaught and weather the early storm, he'll have the physicality and mental fortitude to take over the fight as it goes into the later rounds. The size difference between the 2 fighters, Schaub suggests, could start to play a factor in those deep waters, with Du Plessis' strength allowing him to neutralize Chimaev's explosive attacks.
Khamzat DDP.
Who you got in that? Let's start with that. Khamzat DDP, who you got? I got a feeling DDP wins that.
I have Khamzat.
I don't.
Yeah.
If Khamzat can get done the first round and a half, maybe, I just think that thing goes past the 3rd and DDP takes over. I think he TKOs him.
I think Khamzat is a better striker, and I think Khamzat's a better wrestler. And I think DDP is a killer, but I think it's Khamzat's time.
Could be totally off on Khamzat. He's a -200. Dude, take my fucking money.
Really? You got DDP?
Yes. Especially as a dog. I figured it'd be the favorite.
I have to say,
I figured DDP would be like a -150. Well, Khamzat, I look at the Gilbert Burns fight. I look at the Kamaru Usman fight. You're like, okay.
Yeah, but he did out wrestle Kamaru a lot.
On the other hand, Darren Till, who spent significant time training with Chimaev, has a different take. Till sees the fight as a nightmare for Du Plessis, primarily because Chimaev's explosive aggression and relentless pace could overwhelm the South African in the early rounds. Till points out that Chimaev's ability to dictate the pace from the get-go has been his greatest weapon, and if he's able to push the action early, Du Plessis might struggle to find his rhythm. According to Till, if Chimaev can execute his game plan early and stay on top of Du Plessis, the fight will likely be over before it ever reaches the later rounds.
If I went back to the UFC now, as the middleweight I could be, I'd fucking tear that Dricus' head off. Tell Dricus I said fuck him, by the way. The little fucking gobshite. Because I can't stand his guts, because he's so shit, he's so good.
You think he beats Khamzat, your boy?
No, look, with respect, I'm never going to look past Dricus because he trains hard, he's super dedicated, he's super strong, and he's got that awkward style that doesn't make any sense. I think Khamzat will beat him inside the 2 rounds. I really do believe that. But look, Khamzat knows. I was speaking to Khamzat on the FaceTime the other day because I'm meant to be going out to Dubai to help with the camp. Khamzat knows it's a tough fight, but, you know, Khamzat trains like a beast. I do think Khamzat gets it in 2 rounds done. You know what I'm saying?
By the way, you're looking svelte. You're looking great. How much are you weighing right now?
Everyone's been saying that, you know, that I'm looking fabulous.
Yeah, you are.
Do I look, Ariel, let's just go. Do I look fabulous?
I think you look fabulous. The teeth are just like blinding me. I wish I was wearing sunglasses right now, but you're looking fit. Way fitter than the last time, right?
Yeah.
I thought you were going to show me another thing there. It was getting very low, the camera. It was weird.
Whoa.
It was uncomfortable.
Whoa. Only my missus gets to see that, Ariel. Don't be disrespectful.
Another fighter who weighed in on the match was Michael Venom Page. Page has long been known for his striking and adaptability, and while he respects Chimaev's ability to seamlessly transition between striking and grappling, he's also a big believer in Du Plessis' mental toughness. He emphasized that while Chimaev has the advantage in terms of versatility, Du Plessis' ability to stay calm under pressure and rise to the occasion could very well make him a problem for Chimaev. Page pointed out that the longer the fight goes, the harder it will be for Chimaev to keep up that same level of intensity. If Du Plessis can avoid being overwhelmed in the early rounds, he'll have a legitimate shot at outworking Chimaev and turning the fight in his favor.
I don't see anybody beating him.
I like Khamzat too. I think he's been really incredible.
Yeah, definitely. He looked better in the last fight. Obviously, it didn't last long, so we didn't get to see it, but normally he's like Crash Bandicoot the first round, and then his energy dips.
DDP has been interesting, though.
I feel like Dricus is very underrated for
but
a
that's
belt
the thing.
holder here.
But that's the thing. If anybody was to, it would be Dricus, because that is the muscular endurance. If you look at like some of the fights nowadays, Mirab, Dricus, these guys that have the muscular endurance to be fighting at 7 the whole fight. And then you got someone like Mirab that's 7, 8 from start to finish, mate. That's difficult to deal with. And Dricus seems exactly the same. He's like 7, 8 the whole time. So if you don't kill him and get him out of there in that first round, second round, then you're gonna have a problem for the rest of the fight.
Ariel Helwani shared a similar view. Helwani noted that while Chimaev will almost certainly come out strong in the early rounds, Du Plessis' chances increase as the fight progresses. Helwani pointed out that Du Plessis has an incredible ability to adapt to difficult situations and break opponents down over time. If Chimaev fails to put Du Plessis away early, the South African may find a way to exploit Chimaev's potential fatigue and turn the tide in his favor.
Now, which direction
are you putting that now? Are you transferring that to
I think DDP figures it out. I think he takes him to deep water and he figures it out, and I think it's like a learning lesson for him and all this stuff.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yoel Romero also chimed in, believing that Chimaev's wrestling will be crucial to his success in this fight. However, Romero highlighted Du Plessis' toughness as a potential game changer. While Chimaev's grappling will put Du Plessis to the test early on, Romero suggested that if Du Plessis can survive those exchanges, he'll force Chimaev to dig deeper into his reserves. In a battle of wills, Romero believes Du Plessis could be the one to take over the fight, particularly if it goes into the later rounds.
1640. Khamzat.
You have what? Sorry, who do you think? 60 Dricus?
16% for Chimaev and 40% for Du Plessis. Yeah, that's a way.
So you think Chimaev? You're kind of slightly leaning towards Chimaev. Yes. Why? Why do you think?
Wrestling. They're wrestling. They're wrestling for Chimaev right now. It's very, very dangerous.
Sean Strickland, another middleweight contender who has shared the octagon with some of the sport's best, also sees a path to victory for Du Plessis. Strickland believes that if Du Plessis can nullify Chimaev's wrestling and survive the initial onslaught, he has what it takes to hand the undefeated fighter his first loss. Strickland, who has trained with Chimaev, is confident that Du Plessis' toughness, grappling, and composure under pressure will allow him to weather the storm and take over the fight once Chimaev starts to slow down.
Did you see DDP and Khamzat got announced?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Where's that gonna be at?
Chicago.
Oh no. They're letting the terrorists in.
Do you think he beats DDP or do you think DDP retains?
You know what's hard? So those little Chechen, they can grapple. And like someone like me who I've been training with for years, I usually could counter wrestle and grapple them. So I just don't know if Dricus can be able to counter wrestle him. But if he can, I think he wins all hands down, you know. I sparred Chechen, like hands down, I think Dricus wins. But it's just gonna come down to like, are you gonna be able to like counter wrestle? And like you can, it's not hard.
Michael Bisping, a UFC legend, rounded out the predictions by bringing attention to a crucial point. Chimaev has yet to prove himself in extended battles. While he has shown explosive power in his earlier bouts, Bisping reminded fans that Chimaev's performances against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman exposed signs of fatigue when the action went beyond the 3-round mark. Bisping believes that while Chimaev is a force to be reckoned with, his inability to sustain that same pace in later rounds could be his downfall against someone as durable and relentless as Du Plessis.
Khamzat Chimaev is a force of nature, and he only knows how to fight one speed, and that's why people really enjoy watching this guy fight. He goes forward, he's a straight up killer, he's looking to take you down, do damage, knock you out, squeeze your head off. Whatever it is, he's trying to do damage right from the opening bell. And that's what he's done to almost everybody. 14 wins, 12 stoppages. Only time he's gone to a decision is twice against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. And we know what happened there. He got a little bit tired. And against Kamaru Usman, well, he was kind of lucky to get that decision. I'm not talking shit about Khamzat Chimaev. I think he's phenomenal. But I think he's got some problems here going 5 rounds against Dricus Du Plessis. We've never seen him go 5 rounds. But we do know the man is a finisher. He is a phenom. He's a freak of nature. He's a strong son of a bitch. He's a great wrestler. He might not have the accolades of a Bold Nickel, but holy shit, when it comes to being effective, Khamzat Chimaev is right up there. He's one of the best finishers.
As UFC 319 approaches, the narrative around this fight is clear. Khamzat Chimaev will come out strong and fast, using his world-class wrestling and aggressive style to overwhelm Du Plessis early. However, if Du Plessis can survive the early storm, his resilience and ability to adjust could give him a chance to take over as the fight progresses. Whether Chimaev's explosive power can carry him to victory, or whether Du Plessis' toughness and unpredictability will turn the tide remains to be seen, but one thing is certain, this will be a battle for the ages.